Hi all, let's know about Macbeth, the play by William Shakespeare. An overview of the drama. Title is Macbeth, authored by William Shakespeare. It is included in the genre tragedy, written around 1606. Setting of the play is in Scotland and with some scenes in England. Main themes are ambition, fate versus free will, guilt, power, evil, and moral corruption. Main characters of the drama. First one is Macbeth. He is a brave Scottish general and Thane of Glamis. Later he becomes the Thane of Cawdor. Ambitious but morally weak, he murders King Duncan to seize the throne. His unchecked ambition leads to paranoia, tyranny, and his eventual downfall. Lady Macbeth. She is the wife of Macbeth. She is very ambitious and manipulative. She pushes Macbeth to commit regicide. However, guilt later drives her to madness and death. The three sisters, or the weed witches, supernatural beings who prophesy Macbeth's rise and fall. They symbolize fate, temptation, and the darker forces of the human mind. Bango. Bango is Macbeth's friend and fellow general. The witches predict that his descendants will inherit the throne. Macbeth kills him out of fear, but Bango's ghost haunts him. King Duncan, he is the virtuous and benevolent King of Scotland, whose murder marks Macbeth's moral and political corruption. Malcolm, he is Duncan's elder son and rightful heir to the throne. He flees to England after his father was murdered and later returns with an army to reclaim the Scottish throne. Donald Bain, he is the younger son of Duncan who flees to Ireland after the murder. Macduff, the Thane of Fife, is loyal to Duncan. He later becomes Macbeth's nemesis or enemy. His family is murdered on Macbeth's order, and he later kills Macbeth in revenge. Lady Macduff is the wife of Macduff. Her murder, along with her children, highlights Macbeth's cruelty and moral decay. Ross, Lennox, Angus, and other Thanes. They are the Scottish nobles who shift their allegiance as Macbeth becomes increasingly tyrannical. Fleance is Bango's son who escapes Macbeth's assassination attempt. He represents the prophecy that Bango's line will rule Scotland. Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft who controls the Weed sisters and manipulates the events behind the scenes. The Potter, he provides comic relief after Duncan was murdered, symbolically describing the gates of hell. So we learned about the major characters of the play. They are Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, the three witches, Bango, that is Macbeth's friend, then King Duncan and his two sons, elder son Malcolm and younger son Donald Bain. And Macduff is the Thane of Fife who will be later killing Macbeth as his wife and children were murdered by Macbeth. And we can see that there are Scottish nobles who later shifts from Macbeth's allegiance because he was so tyrannical. They are Rose, Lennox, Angus, and other things. Then Fleance is Bango's son, and Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft who was behind or who controls the three sisters, and later the Potter. So let's see the summary of Act 1. First, Act 1, Ambition Awakens. The play opens on a bleak Scottish heath with three witches chanting, "Fair is foul and foul is fair." So we can see that there are three witches and they're chanting this mantra that is, "Fair is foul and foul is fair." Macbeth and Bango, they are returning victorious from battle. They encounter the witches. The witches hail Macbeth as the Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and King hereafter. They also predict that Bango's descendants will be kings, though Bango himself will not be one. So Macbeth and Bango is getting prophesied by the three witches. Soon after, Macbeth is informed that he has indeed become Thane of Cawdor, which makes him believe the witch's prophecy. King Duncan announces he will visit Macbeth's castle and names Malcolm as his heir. So we can see that Duncan is saying that he will be visiting the castle of Macbeth and also names his eldest son Malcolm as the heir to the throne. Lady Macbeth, upon reading Macbeth's letter about the prophecy, calls upon dark spirits to unsex her, to rid of her weakness, and plots Duncan's murder. So Lady Macbeth is saying, is calling for the dark spirits and calling and saying to unsex her because she is a woman and she wants to feel more powerful. So if you are a woman, you will be feeling a feeling of forgiveness, kindness, and all. And she is calling upon the dark spirits in order to kill King Duncan. Act 2: The Murder of Duncan. Macbeth is hallucinating a bloody dagger leading him toward Duncan's chamber. And the murder was encouraged by Lady Macbeth and was murdering King Duncan in her sleep. Lady Macbeth smears the blood on the gods to frame them. Macduff discovers the murder. Duncan's son, Malcolm and Donald Bain, they flee for safety, making them appear suspicious. Macbeth is crowned as the next king of Scotland, but his guilt begins to surface. Act 3. So here we can see that in Act 2, the king was murdered and now Macbeth is the king. Act 3, the corruption of power. Macbeth, now king, fears the prophecy about Bango's heirs. He hires murderers to kill Bango and his son Fleance. Bango is murdered but Fleance escapes, leaving the prophecy unbroken. During a banquet, Bango's ghost appears to Macbeth, and this ghost is only seen by Macbeth and unseen by others, causing him to panic publicly. Lady Macbeth tries to control the situation, but both are shaken by guilt and fear. Macbeth seeks out the witches again for reassurance. Act 4: The Fall into Tyranny. The witches show Macbeth three apparitions, three visions. First one is an armed head, which gives the meaning of beware of Macduff. Second one, a bloody child. None of woman born shall harm Macbeth. Third one, a crowned child holding a tree. Macbeth shall never be vanquished until the great Birnam wood comes to Dunsinane Hill. These riddles make Macbeth feel invincible. He orders the murder of Macduff's wife and children, deepening his cruelty. Macduff in England with Malcolm swears revenge after hearing the news. Malcolm tests Macduff's loyalty and they unite to march against Macbeth with English support. Act 5. So it is the last act of the play, the downfall of Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is tormented by guilt. She sleepwalks and obsessively tries to wash imaginary blood from her hands. She sings this out, damned sport. She later dies off stage, likely by suicide. Malcolm's army advances on Macbeth's castle at Dunsinane, cutting branches from Birnam wood to use as camouflage, fulfilling the prophecy. So we can see that the first prophecy, like the Birnam wood coming to the castle. Then second one, in battle Macbeth kills young Siward, still believing he cannot be harmed by any man born of woman. Later, Macduff confronts him and reveals that he was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped. So he was not born, he was actually born by a cesarean section. And Macbeth realizes too late that the witch's prophecy was deceptive. Macduff kills Macbeth, and Malcolm is hailed as King of Scotland, restoring order. Ending and message. The play ends with Malcolm's coronation, symbolizing a return to peace and justice. Macbeth dies a tragic hero, courageous yet undone by ambition and moral weakness. Shakespeare leaves us questioning how much of our fate is chosen by ourselves and how much is predetermined by destiny or evil forces. The key themes in the play are ambition and power. Macbeth's unchecked ambition destroys his integrity and peace. Second one, fate versus free will. The witches spark ambition, but Macbeth's own choices leads him to ruin. Third one, guilt and conscience. Both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are haunted by a remorse. Appearances versus reality. So, the starting of the play, fair is foul and foul is fair. It means that things are not what they seem. Fifth one, the supernatural. The witches embody chaos and moral corruption. Sixth one, the nature of kingship. The contrast between Duncan's benevolence and Macbeth's tyranny. Conclusion. Shakespeare's Macbeth is a psychological study of ambition and moral decay. It warns that the pursuit of power without ethical restraint leads to self destruction. From the witch's prophecy to the final battle, the play unfolds like a dark spiral from noble beginnings to bloody downfall, making it one of the most profound tragedies ever written. Okay, thank you.